Hello everyone, my name is Haritha Rajeev, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science. So today we are going to discuss about the white box testing. So white box testing is a basic testing technology in the software development life cycle. So what do you mean by a white box testing? So whiteboard testing techniques analyze the internal structure that use the data structures, internal designs, code structure and working of the software rather than just a functionality as in black box testing. It is also called glass box testing or clear box testing or structural testing. White box testing is also known as transparent testing or open box testing. That means in this technique it will be analyze the internal structure. That means it can only analyze the external structure. It will also include the internal structure also. That means each functionality will be tested individually. Then only we can identify the errors in between each iteration or in between each phases we can identify the errors. So the white box testing is also called glass box testing or transparent testing because it can be transparent. It will be visible the internal structure also. That means it will be tested the internal structure or internal functionality of that particular software. So the main process in the white box testings are, first one is input. Input means requirement, functional specifications, design document, source code. The inputs of that particular design is requirement and functional specification, design documents and source code. Next phase is processing, performing risk analysis to guide through the entire process. In the process phase, it will be perform the risk analysis. And next one is proper test planning, designing test cases to cover the entire code, execute, rinse, repeat until error-free software is reached. That means proper test planning means it will be created a test case, it will check continuously to create a proper design. That means it will be continuously checked if any errors occurred in between that. And the next phase is output, preparing final report of the entire process. So we can have input, processes and proper planning and output. So these are the testing techniques behind the white box testing. First one is statement coverage. This is the example for statement coverage. In this techniques, the aim to traverse all the statements least one, hence each line of code is tested. In case of flowchart, every node must be traversed at least one, since all the line of code can be covered. In this example, all the test cases can be tested at least one. That means all the line of code can be tested at least one. Then only it will create a proper design or proper software. Next one is branch coverage. In branch coverage, it will cover each branches. In this technique, test cases are designed so that each branch forms all decision points is traversed at least one. That means each branches can be covered at least one. In the flowchart, all the edges can be traversed at least one. In statement techniques, all the nodes can be traversed at least one. But in the case of branch coverage, each edges can be traversed or each edge point can be traversed at least one. And next one is condition coverage. In this technique, all the individual condition must be checked at least one. All the individual conditions performed at least one. And next one is multiple condition. In some cases, there are multiple conditions are there. Then the multiple conditions will be checked and then only we can create the perfect software. In this technique, all the possible combination of the possible outcomes of the conditions are tested at least one. All possible outcomes can be tested at least one. So these are the examples for some of the conditions, multiple conditions. And next one is basic path testing. In this technique, control flow graphs are made from code or flowchart. Then cyclomatic complexity will be calculated and defining the number of independent paths so that the minimum number of test cases can be designed. So in this case, first it will be create a path. Based on the path, it will calculate the cyclomatic complexity, and based on that complexity, it will create the minimum number of paths. There are different steps in the basic path testing. Make the corresponding control flow graphs and calculate the cyclomatic complexity and find the independent path, design test cases. These are the 4 different steps in the basic path testing. First one is corresponding control flow graphs will be created, and based on that graph, it will be calculate the cyclomatic complexity and then calculate the independent path and then design the test cases. And next one is loop testing. Loops are widely used and these are fundamental to many algorithms. Hence, testing is very important. Errors often occur at the beginning and end of the loops. In loop testing, each loops can be tested in the front end and back end. Some of the errors are occurs in the beginning of the loop and some errors are occur in the end of the loop. So each phase can be calculated or errors can be checked in the loops. So there are different loops: simple loops, nested loops and concatenated loops. Simple loops is and test cases are designed that skip the loop entirely, only one pass through the loop and 2 pass. And m passes where m less than n and n minus 1 and n plus 1. These are the possible conditions in simple loop. And next one is nested loop. Nested loop means a loop inside another loop. So we can test the inner loop first and then only we can test the outer loop. Concatenated loop, independent loops one after another. Simple loops tested are applied for each. Simple loop testing can be applied in each loops and each loops can be clubbed after testing individually. So these are the different testing strategies in white box testing. So basically white box testing is the testing based on the internal structure or the internal functionality. It can be also called glass box testing and transparent testing. So these are the main content behind the white box testing. Thank you.